Hello, everybody. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. My name is Mark Morek. I am the COO of Ciresi Morek. Today is January 13th. It's a little bit different. We've changed the timing a little bit, just from a standpoint of with the holidays. Coming off of COVID, thank God 2020 is over. But we're excited for 2021. Some very cool things. For those of you that know, we are in the Cleveland area. The Cleveland Browns have made it to the playoffs, first time since 2002, I believe. Very sorry for the OSU fans out there. It was not good on Monday, but congratulations to Alabama. Couple of things been pretty weird in the news with a lot of stuff going on. Some recent events today. We're going to stay away from all of that. Focus on good karma, looking forward for 2021 and celebrate some great things that are going on, not only within Ciresi and Morek, but on the manufacturing side, and we're going to share some of that with you here. So we're going to jump in. We had some really great recommendations over the last couple of weeks for some colleagues of mine, some friends of ours that have reached out, and one of those was kind of and again, I always kind of chuckle to myself. The woman we have that's been doing a great job with us for marketing, Anna Maria, is always kind of kicking my ass about that's good information. Those are nuggets that you should share. And in my head, I'm always like, well, that's basic stuff. But and this is one of them. It's the differences between searches, contingent versus retained, and then something that we've started doing is customs, and we'll get into that in a minute. So I did want to, for those of you that missed the last show we did, we talked a little bit about kind of a brief overview of 2020. A couple of things we wanted to celebrate. Typically we're a lot about, helping others and helping people make the transition in their jobs. With some things I wanted to be a little bit braggadocious about. Last year was weird for everybody, but very proud of our team. We had some personal bests. A couple guys out there had their best years ever. We as a company have had our best year ever, and we were actually 98% of our goal, which in light of everything, it was pretty awesome. Something that we added too that you've seen a lot more of us on LinkedIn and Twitter and Facebook and email and newsletters and stuff that we've done is I mentioned Anna Maria. We added a marketing department. She's done a great job, and because of her efforts, we've increased our LinkedIn followers 16,000 this year. I mean, we're up to almost 50,000 followers, which for a small company in Northeast Ohio, very proud of that. We started a YouTube channel, right? We started this thing because of COVID, and we're maintaining it because there seems to be a great response to it and a lot of interest. So we're excited about this year and what we've been doing, and Happy New Year to everybody that's out there. I don't know if I wished everybody that. The other thing that we had a lot of success this year with was diversity and inclusion recruiting. We partnered with a couple of our clients to help them in those areas, and we had a lot of success. 33% of the candidates we placed, were female, and it's pretty cool if you look within, manufacturing, to kind of help share that story and help kind of break down some barriers and help people move their careers forward. So very proud of that as well. We went international, like really international. I mean, we kind of sold ourselves as international with Mexico and Canada. Technically it's international, but we actually completed some searches in Germany this year, which, we had people that hand selected us to help them with that. And so very proud of that fact as well. So we are officially like across the pond, which was kind of cool. The other thing that we ended up doing is Forbes 2020, right? We won top 200 recruiting firms. And this is where we could really use your help. Please, please, please. In the next day or two, we're going to be sending out an email asking for folks to help vote for us for 2021. We're really looking for your guys' help to make it a back-to-back for us. We would love to be Forbes Top 200 for 2021 as well. It's a goal of ours, and you guys can actually make us that happen. I always get people that are like, hey, what can I do to help you? I'm telling you, this is something that you guys really could. It will take you 3 minutes, maybe 4. So please, hey, what's up, Joe? when you get the email from us, please take 3 to 4 minutes, fill out the survey, and get that turned in. So the other thing was we've done over 50. I didn't realize this, but we've done over 50 referrals. Resumes. Reviews. We're going to do 4 today. We're going to try and get to that as well. We might go a little bit long today, so I apologize. I've really been trying hard to keep it to the 30 minutes, but I think today is going to be a little bit past that with the number of stuff and the new jobs that we have to discuss as well. So over 50 resume reviews, which is kind of cool. We do that as a free service. So if you're interested in that, send us your resume. We'll try to get you on and we'll coordinate with you so you know when we're going to be talking about your information. And then the last thing is that we started in 2020 and have had some success. I'd really like to see 2021, this thing grow, is our referral program. We've had some great referrals, and it's funny, again, getting back to nuggets, right? I assume everybody knows kind of the referral program and how it works, but hello, Anthony. No, there will not be any cooking tips today, but congratulations on the baby. That's awesome news. We're really excited for you. For those of you who don't know, Robert's brother, Anthony, who's joining us today, he had his first baby the 23rd. So early Christmas gift. So congratulations and God bless on that one. But the referral program, getting back to that, sorry, shiny object. The referral program, this isn't somebody like you've got to talk to and qualify. Referral program for us is if you're talking to one of our folks about a job and you think to yourself in your head like, hey, John Smith would be a great candidate for this, that's a referral to us. Like, you can either do it confidentially, in the referral program. If you go to our website, and we'll put the link up here in a second, if you go to the website and you refer somebody, just let us know if you want to keep it confidential or not. I mean, you don't have to have their resume, but if it's something like, hey, I thought of John Smith for this plant manager role, or I thought of Susie Smith, Susie Johnson for this plant, director of operations role, and I'm confidentially referring to you, or hey, use my name when you contact her, that's the type of information that is very helpful to us because those are candidates that maybe we don't know of. So if you can at least make us aware of folks, we would be very appreciative of it. And we'll let you know if we have them or not. I mean, basically, you have the opportunity to earn up to $1,000 for somebody if you think they're a good fit for a position. And it doesn't have to be you think they're looking or you think they'll move. It's just really a matter of, do you think this person would be a good fit for an opportunity that we're representing? And if so, great. We'd love to talk to them. And again, if you want to stay out of it, if you want to stay in the background, just let us know it's a confidential referral. Or, we have people too that, they're like, hey, I want you to let them know that I'm hooking them up. So please use my name when you're contacting. It's up to you, whatever you're comfortable with. And again, we would appreciate it. So again, great year for us, crazy year for everybody. I can tell you from personal experience, the whole COVID thing sucks. There's no two ways about it. Affects a lot of people in different ways, but be happy to be coming out of it and feeling much better. So I've had a lot of people asking me how I'm doing and stuff. So thank you for that. So we're going to hit the new placements. Congratulate the folks that we placed since our last broadcast. And you see we've got some new things here, right? You got the little title. It's backwards, so that's what's screwing me up here. And then the folks over here that we are congratulating. So Chad Nelson, we placed as a plant manager. Congratulations. Good luck to you. Jason Wright, plant manager as well. Those are both big automotive companies, tier ones. We placed Ali Mokulad as a maintenance manager, maintenance supervisor. Stan Savukas we placed him as a VP of HR here in Northeast Ohio. Dina Holland started as a quality manager with one of our great clients down in Georgia. Candace Benny started as a sales manager up here in Northeast Ohio. We placed Paul Brawley started with one of our awesome customers, aerospace folks down in St. Louis. And finally, Jarvis Wilson started as a plant manager in the Dayton, Ohio area. So congratulations to everyone and best of luck. And we look forward to hearing about your successes here in the future and when you need to help build your team. So keep us in mind. The other thing is we've had a lot of activity here, a lot of new positions. You know, it's strange. Typically November, December, and then into January kind of slows up for us, but this year it's kind of the accelerator's been pushed the whole way down, and we've got a number of new positions. We're going to try a little bit different format, but we'll see how this goes. We are looking for, this is automotive, Tier 1, Battle Creek, Michigan. We're looking for a technical manager, somebody who have, 20 to 30 direct reports. They're looking for somebody that's got die casting or machining experience. That person, if you're interested in that role, and all of these are listed on our website. So if you're interested in something, in this opportunity, Aaron Zupan from my office would be the person for you to get a hold of. Detroit, Michigan, longstanding client of ours, automotive Tier 1. They are looking for a director of continuous improvement, somebody who's got some injection molding background, looking at over 1,000 employees, a large company. And this role is going to not only do continuous improvement stuff, but they're also going to help with new and expansion launches. Basically you'll get to lead a team, but right out of the gate, it's going to be a lot of kind of roll up your sleeves and get involved. So injection molding assembly, this role, if you're interested in something like this, director of continuous improvement type role, would be Kenneth Pettis. Next opportunity is a long-standing Tier 1 automotive supplier of ours in Battle Creek. They're looking for an HR manager. Again, aluminum die casting machining experience. Ben Evans from my office would be the guy to talk to for that. So any HR managers up in the Battle Creek area that have automotive experience would love to hear from you. Another cool one, this is a long-standing client of ours. We haven't done work with them for a few months. They reached out to us here at the end of last year asking for some help. They're looking for a manufacturing engineering manager down in the Cincinnati, Ohio area. Basically plastic experience. If you have anybody, it'd be a couple of direct reports. You'd have maintenance, mechanical engineering, and automation controls folks that would report into this role. So you would have managers reporting into you. Again, it's a manufacturing engineering manager down in Cincinnati, not automotive. And that would, if you're interested in something like that, Aaron Zupan would be the guy to connect with. Next roles, this one I'm probably going to get crushed on, or actually Ben Evans from my office would be the guy, but a general manager job down in Florida. I know, it's actual manufacturing in Florida. So, especially on a wonderful cold day like today in Northeast Ohio, I'm sure there's a lot of folks that are out there that would be interested. But this is cool. So we've had a long-standing relationship with the parent company, and we've done a great job for them. I know, being a little bit, but we have. I mean, we've helped them with a number of positions, some real good talent that has come in and helped them transform their business. They asked us to help another one of their divisions down in Florida. They're looking for somebody. It's a small manufacturing site in a DC, so true P&L experience. You'd have sales. It's a general manager role. If you have helped kind of transform a culture, it's kind of like, the two sides of the fence. DC and manufacturing, they're looking to kind of get them a little bit more conjoined. So if you'd be interested in something like that, please reach out to Ben Evans, again, down in Tampa, Florida. Next role is with a company down in the Texas area, Dallas, Texas area, automotive Tier 1. And they are looking for somebody who's got preferably some automotive interior experience. Ben Evans is the guy that this would be, if you're interested in it. Dallas, Texas, automotive interiors. They're looking for a technical manager, oversee all aspects of production. And you would have manufacturing, engineering, program management, industrial engineering, tooling, engineering change would all report into this role. So these guys are going to be helping launch the products down there in Dallas. So if you're down there or want to get down there, reach out to Ben. Next role this is another one of those you don't hear a lot of, South Carolina, and looking for an operations manager out of a Tier 1. So 300 plus folks, 24/7 operation. You'd have, almost 10 people reporting directly into you. You're going to be responsible for manufacturing for these guys. It's non-union down in South Carolina. Interested in an ops manager role, being basically strong number two, please reach out to Ben Evans as well, and he'll hook you up with it. Next couple roles are here in Northeast Ohio. Mark Anthony from my office is looking for a sales manager, somebody who's got some defense sales side of things or OE side. Somebody who's got experience working with, like I said, aerospace or defense. If you've got some interested here in the Northeast Ohio area, it's the Akron area, reach out to Mark Anthony from my office and he will help you out. Same client, couple different locations. Again, Akron area, they're looking for an FP&A person, finance planning and analysis. Over $300 million in sales. If you've got somebody that's got budgeting and forecasting and long-term budgeting, somebody that's open into the Akron area, we would love to chat with you. If you have interest in that role, that would be Kenneth Pettis. He'd be the guy to reach out to. And then another opportunity out in wonderful Bloomington, Indiana, which is southern Indiana. A client of ours is looking for a controller. They are looking for somebody that's got accounting experience, monthly forecast, inventory costing, somebody who's got a manufacturing plant, can get into it. So if you've got any type of experience with that or know somebody, again, going back to the referral program, would love to hear from you. So feel free to shoot us over a note. The person that's running that search is Mark Anthony as well from our office. Then if you know anybody who's on the materials manager side of things, automotive, and looking in the Murfreesboro, Tennessee area, we've got a client there that does stamping and welding. Looking for somebody that has basically can manage about 50 folks. Materials management's kind of the quarterback of the plant, keeping everything, scheduling, inventory control. Automotive, for folks that understand the automotive side of things, tier one, you've got a lot of moving parts and a lot of penalties if you don't meet it. So a little bit stressful, but great company, great location, great opportunity. Joe Montero from my office would be the person that you would want to reach out to. A little bit different on this one. Here in Northeast Ohio, we have an opportunity for a quality engineer. We've got a great client of ours, new client of ours, but great company down in the Akron-Canton area. They're looking for a quality engineer with a few years experience. If you have, and it doesn't have to be automotive, it's automotive related, but you don't have to have automotive experience. You just have to have a good, strong quality background. Somebody's going to work closely with the quality manager from the plant. A lot of assembly operation, right? And then be able to take over for the quality manager when they get promoted. So any interest in that would be Mark Anthony as well from my office. But again, Akron-Canton area, QE, just a couple years experience and maybe looking for a change and an opportunity to become a QM in your future. Reach out to Mark Anthony. I'm sure he'd love to chat with you about that. I think that's it for the new positions that we have right now. We've got over 50 active jobs as well. If you have questions on stuff, the one thing I'll tell you too, coming off the holidays and the office, we've been in and out with folks getting COVID and stuff and trying to recover, and some folks working remotely. So if you have applied to a job and you haven't heard anything and it's been 2 weeks right through the holidays, you may want to reach out again to us and just give us an opportunity to get back with you. I know I'm still about 150 or so emails behind. I'm trying to get caught up. So hey, Rondell, hope all is well. I talked to Rondell earlier today, so we had a good chat. And no, I don't have any feedback yet for you, buddy, but I'm working on it. So if you have interest in any of the roles or have questions on stuff and you've applied and you haven't heard back anything, go ahead and ping us just one more time. Don't, use this as an opportunity to hit us up like 30 times. So if you have any, if we haven't gotten back to you, you want to hit us up again, we will be reaching out to you though and closing the loop. I know we will. So All right, so we talked about new placements. We talked about new searches. One more time on referrals. Please, if you have anybody that you think would be a fit and you want us to talk to, please use a referral program. Reach out to us. We would love to chat with whoever. And again, if you want it to be confidential, let us know. And if you want us to use your name when we chat with them, we're happy to do it. It's whatever you're comfortable with. But please, I think the referral program can have a lot of success on both sides and be a win-win for everybody involved. So, all right. So I'm gonna work through this really quick because I'm trying to stay as close to 30-minute mark as possible. I got 4 resumes to go through, so we're gonna nug this out. But when you're dealing usually at higher levels, there are types of searches, right? There's 2 basic types of searches: retained search and contingency searches. Contingency search is easy to explain. It's play to pay. We represent you and a number of other folks. We're looking for reasons to present you to our customer. We're looking for reasons to say yes, not no. And we'll get you on as many opportunities as you can. So if you're a good fit for 7 plant manager positions, then we are going to introduce you to those 7 plant managers. If you're qualified for it and interested, we will present you to them. Okay? So pretty straightforward. The retained side is usually at the higher level. A true retained search, and when I first started my career, I did retained search, like the, I don't want to say Spencer Stewart or the Heidrick and Struggles, but there's if you can Google top 5 or top 10 retained firms, it's like Egon Zehnder, CT Partners, Korn Ferry, Spencer Stewart, Reynolds and Reynolds. I mean, these are big. They do CEO searches and board searches, and they usually have minimum fees. The way they structure their fee, it's like a third up front, a third in the middle, and a third on the back end. And then a lot of times there'll be a minimum fee, and they look to rule people out. I mean, they're literally looking for 3 people perfectly qualified or 4 people perfectly qualified. So they're not going to take a shot with you. Your background literally has to line up exactly what the customer is looking for. There's probably more in-depth interviewing and assessments, although some of our contingent customers we have one contingent customer that they do 6 to 8 hours of testing before they will present an offer to a candidate. So that's not necessarily true. And a lot of these lines in the last 10, 15 years have gotten blurry. But one of the biggest differences, at least in my head, the difference between a retained search and a contingent search is retained searches, they look to rule people out, and contingent searches, they look to rule people in, right? When you're presenting to customers or to a client. The things that I can personally tell you, this is Mark's personal opinion, not a huge fan of retained searches because when I did it, it appeared to be a lot of smoke and mirrors. Standard format was we'd give 4 candidates. First person wasn't as good as the second person, wasn't as good as the third person who you were going to hire, and the 4th person was about as good as the first person, right? So you kind of give the illusion of, we're increasing the quality of the candidates, and we'd wait anywhere from 2 to 3 months to present the candidates to the customer. We would get paid monthly. We would bill the customer monthly for fees. So by the end of the process, we could not fill the position, and the customer would have paid almost 100% of the fee. And this is, again, going back when I first started recruiting almost 20 years ago. That didn't set well with me for the first, that was like the first 6 to 8 months of my recruiting career. Didn't sit well with me. And, on the contingent side, it was more, if I worked hard for you, I got paid. That's typically how it worked. So, but now here's the other side of it. A retained search is not necessarily evil or bad. I mean, there's a certain level that the expectation is it's going to be a retained type search. And so taking the model of, dare I say, overpaying for a fee or overpaying for a search, we've taken it and we've created an engaged search. And the thing that I love about how we do the engaged search is, yes, it's a retained search, and yes, you're paying me money up front. But unlike a true retained search, we put performance metrics in place. If I don't work for you, if the search doesn't produce the results that you expect as a customer, we're going to give you your money back. So, and it's one of the things we're very proud of. I don't know of a lot of search firms that will actually say, hey, we'll give you your money back if we don't perform. I know there's, if the person doesn't work out once you place it, but a retainer, I mean, that's a huge trust factor. You're giving me thousands of dollars up front with the trust that I'm going to perform for you. And that can be difficult for people. I mean, usually the biggest pushback with a retainer is, well, I don't want to give you 15, 20 grand to start the search or 10 grand to start a search. And it makes sense, right? I mean, I wouldn't want to give somebody I don't really know that well 20 grand. I don't care what the reputation is or who the person is. And that's a lot of money. So again, to kind of get around that is, we said, listen, that totally makes sense. To better partner with our customers, we ended up putting, like I said, the performance guarantees in place. And like, if we don't perform for you, we'll give you your money back. Nice to say, I can honestly say in the time that we've done this, in the years that we've done engaged search, we've given money back one time, and it wasn't because we didn't perform. It's because the client really their expectations were out of whack, and we severed the relationship with them, and we just gave the money back and parted as friends. And best of luck to you. So, and here's the other thing with the true retained search that this is what impacts you. I mentioned it, but just to kind of highlight it, contingent search, typically, and again, all this is typical. A contingent search, you can present a candidate multiple opportunities. In a standard retained search, usually there is a first right of refusal. So if I have a retained relationship with company A, and you are a vice president of operations qualified for company A, and I present you, I have to wait till company A says no to you to present you to company B or company C. So when you're working on these retained searches, that's a question you may want to better understand and make sure you understand as a candidate, because that could affect you. I mean, if I have multiple VP of opportunity searches that you are qualified for, again, under a standard retained model, then it's possible that I can't present you for any of the other searches. So that's not typically how we do engaged searches. Our model allows for multiple. We don't have first right of refusal or anything like that, typically in our search structure. And then the last search. So if you went to our website right now and you looked, you'd see retained search, contingent search, and custom search. Our retained search is really our engaged search, and then our custom search, that's something that we created to allow some flexibility. There are special circumstances. We have relationships with clients that come to us that have like large projects where we will create what's in our customers as well as our interest. And it's typically around financial savings that we can do to create certain, non-standard search structures that'll help our customers save a couple bucks. It usually ends up being saving tens of thousands of dollars, but and then from us, it just kind of helps solidify the relationship and the partnership. So the stuff that's important to you when you're interviewing and you're working with a recruiter is to understand what that relationship is, because it can affect you. So and typically I have people ask me, hey, is this retained search or contingent? When we start getting into director and VP level searches. Again, not all of our VP level stuff is retained or engaged search. Not all of our manager level stuff is contingent. So it depends on what's going on. So hopefully that helps kind of explain the difference between retained and contingent search. If you guys have specific questions, info@CiresiMorek.com. Feel free to shoot me a note, and I'll answer it as much as you can. But again, it was one of those things where one of our customers reached out to us and said, hey, would you be able to help kind of explain this a little bit? And if you got a couple of people asking, it might be good to have the conversation. So if you have any other topics that you would like us to discuss, happy to do it. But again, so it's maybe that was a little high level or basic, or hopefully I didn't confuse anybody. But contingent, engaged, and custom searches is what we do. So, all right. So getting into resume reviews. All right. So we're going to try and work through this. So I got the first one here is JC. He is on the West Coast. So, all right, right out of the gates, when I look at your resume, he's an MIT master's degree. Awesome. He's got a Juris Doctorate. Awesome. Ohio State University grad. I'm really sorry about Monday's loss, man. I hope you've recovered from that. And University of Michigan training. Wow. So you really, that's interesting, buddy. So I would be interested to know who you root for, around Thanksgiving. So hopefully it's Ohio State. But, so first thing, just looking at your resume, JC, you have a lot. There's a lot to read, man. Almost too much. And you get into, typically education. I mean, you have a very strong education with the Juris Doctor at the MIT and Ohio State, depending on not if you're in Ohio or not. I mean, you've got a great education, but there is a lot of verbiage coming right out of the gates, and it may dissuade some readers from taking a look, or you may lose them. Getting into the career advice, for anybody that's watched me more than once talk about resumes, you've heard me say, tell me who your client, tell me who your company is, right? I know you've got a big, airplane manufacturer on here, but just give me the highlights, man. The large global manufacturer of, whatever commercial aircraft. You talk about what your title is, right? You're a superintendent, 737. Awesome. But you don't tell me what your responsibilities are for. You bullet out what your responsibilities are again, and I can send you an example resume, JC. But tell me the company name. Give me a line or two about what the company does. Tell me your title. Give me a line or two about what your responsibilities are. What does your company pay you to do day to day? And then bullet out a couple of your wow things, accomplishments. What have you done above and beyond the call of duty? And then just keep that consistent throughout. The other thing is, just as a quick side, you have a director level position and then you go to a superintendent. It's really important to explain what your responsibilities are, because it looks like you took a huge step back when you go from a director title to a superintendent title. Now, I don't know your company well enough to be able to delineate between the titles, but that's why, understanding who your audience is, a guy like me who maybe doesn't understand it as well as you'd like us to, make it easy for us. Explain what it is. And it doesn't have to be really detailed. Just give a couple of highlights of what the organization is, again, right? Global, public or privately, held, revenue-wise, how big, locations, and then tell me what your title is, tell me what you're responsible for, and then give me what you did above and beyond. Just reading through here the rest of it. Again, I would really encourage you to try and, you're trying to put a lot of information in this. I would look at maybe doing some bullet stuff, and I'm happy to get on with you one-on-one. But because of the differences you have in your experience, you've got some of this legal stuff, you've got this community stuff you're trying to hit, and then awards of publications. There's a lot of information you're trying to pack into one, and I think you can do a little bit better job of condensing it. You do a great job keeping it to 2 pages, but you can actually go 2.5. With the amount of experience you have, 2.5 would not be a make or break. Okay, so hopefully that helps, JC. Happy to chat with you more. If you have some specific questions, info@CeresiMorek.com. So, next one, JR. Understand you just recently started your new job. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. Again, starting on the 25th. So, congratulations on that. Let us know where you land. But similar to what I was saying before, there's a lot of verbiage on your resume. Obviously it worked. You got a new job. So, again, congrats. But the professional profile at the top, and then the title, you've got, your name and then manager. That, I don't think that helps you. The professional profile, that's a lot of information in there. And then jumping into, tell me who your company is, right? I know it's a big name brand. I know who they are. Great company, or at least who you currently or previously worked for. But, give a line or two, large tier 1 supplier for interiors. Tell us, maybe total revenue kind of a thing. I think you do a great job explaining what your current role or most recent role is. I would say your bullets are a little bit weak. Quantitative, qualitative metrics, right? You're a quality guy, right? Give me details. Give me percentages. I know that you have done better with, decreasing requirements, or getting PPMs down, or increasing throughput. I mean, a guy like you should have a bunch of hard data that you can throw in your bullets to get the reader's attention. Overall, I mean, it looks good. You do use some of these blocks, for like education, affiliation, your volunteer. That can throw ATSs off a little bit. I mean, it looks nice here visually, but it can be a little bit of a challenge. The other thing is, I don't think you started your career in 2001 as a plant manager, right? So at least that would be an interesting endeavor. I would love to know how you did that. So you probably have some previous experience that is not on here. I would recommend, and you can keep it to 2 lines, like just put like the dates, 19, let's say it's 1991 to 2001, various roles in blah, 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 whatever it is. Okay. Overall, I mean, it looks good. Again, I would maybe, and then, under your senior quality engineer, you've got a lot of writing of what your responsibilities were. But I think if you look, so Valiant, right? Okay. If you look at your senior quality engineer position that you held in Auburn Hills, Michigan, if you told me who your current company was, right? If you gave me a line or two about the current company, if you shortened your explanation of what the role is as a senior quality engineer, right? But your bullets here, I mean, reduced out of spec parts by 90%. Awesome. Boosted on-time delivery by 8%. Awesome. Improved customer satisfaction. I would like to see like a by what percent. But this is the type of stuff I'm talking about. Quantitative, qualitative metrics that somebody can read. And you want some, because people are this is part of the interview process, right? So if I'm talking to you, JR, I want to look at this and be like, how did you save $750,000 on future program costs? How did you increase conformance by 38%? I mean, these are the discussion points during the resume or during the interview process. So put company, put a line or two about what the company is. I think you can shorten up some of your explanations of what your positions are, and then go from there. And then add a couple of lines about your previous experience before being a plant manager. So I think that's about it. So overall, pretty good, JR. And then again, congrats on the new role. That's awesome. Next one here is Steve. So Steve, you come right out of the gates, education, military, and then go into your experience. So you've been out of school more than 10 years. You don't need to put education on the top. You can put that on the bottom. I would also recommend the military too, putting at the bottom, and I would take your dates off on the military. If anybody knows anything about a military, I mean, you're basically, I can figure out that more likely than not, you entered the military when you were 18, right? And so from there, I can figure out exactly how old you are. So I don't know if necessarily I would put the dates for your military service on there. So the other things on here, I've been pretty consistent. Tell me who your company is. I don't know who, this company that does this research LLC down in Houston. I don't know who they are, right? So, and I don't know if most people would know who they are. So put a line or two explaining who they are. You do a great job explaining manufacturing, right? Your supervisory role. That's awesome. Kind of long-winded on bullets. Typically, for the first position, for your most current or recent job, I would say 5 to 8 bullets. 8 bullets max. 5 is probably realistic. And then from there, I would say put 3 to 5 bullets. The farther you go down in your career and history, I would say then you're getting into 2 to 3 bullets, right? So you want to come out with the most detail with the most current position, and then less detail as you go, and that'll help save space. Reality is too, you got plenty of room here, man. You literally have a page and a half. You do not need to keep resumes to 1 page. You've got enough experience that you can easily fill in 2 pages. And you may even want to consider going a little bit more in detail about your military experience as well. You'd be amazed at how that can connect you with folks. And then again, adding a line or two about what the company does. Add a line and then, Steve, consistency wise, you give me an explanation of what your current role is, but then you don't talk about your role with RTI. You don't talk about your role with Hewlett Packard or TI. You're not telling me what the responsibilities are in those jobs. So it would definitely help the reader understand. Other thing is, this is me being OCD, but you have your home address on here. Man, take that off. Just leave the Spring, Texas thing. You can just say city, state. That's all you need to put on there. The specific street address, just from a, identity theft kind of a thing, I would leave it off. Okay. So again, if you got any questions specifically, let me know. But I think if you did those, it would just make your resume more readable and better easier to understand. Oh yeah, and that's the other thing for everybody involved. Yeah, JC does it. JR, I would put your LinkedIn profile link on there, and then same for you, Steve, is put your link on there so people can find you on LinkedIn easy enough. So last one is here, Jeffrey. Thank you for sharing the resume and taking the time to join us. So overall, good. Again, going with, I've said this now, it'll be the fourth time. Tell me who your company is. Give me a line or two with your current employer. I have no idea who this company is or what they do. I know below that it says consulting and supply chain strategic sourcing. That's great, but how big is the company? Is this like a one-man show? Is it 5 people? Did you help start it? Give me a little bit of detail. It just kind of frames up what your background is. You do a good job as managing director, consulting and supply chain strategic sourcing, right? Awesome. You let me know kind of what that is. When you get into the bullets, I think we lose a little bit there, right? Your bullets are more about what you did, right? What your responsibilities are versus what your accomplishments are. Again, quantitative, qualitative, and metrics. I'm sure in the 7.5 years that you've been with these guys, you've made a huge impact on some of your customers. That's what your reader, that's what the person wants to know about. Let them know where they're at. The other thing is, your career summary is incredibly long and there's a lot of verbiage. People are not going to want to read all of this. I've been going back and forth. I've been having conversations with people about summary statements versus objective statements. And it's one of those things that you're giving me a career summary here. I don't know if I necessarily need that, right? It's an objective statement, or it's, objective statement is what do you want to get to? What do you want to do? And then a summary statement is what have you done? And your summary is not that much of a summary. So I would definitely boil a lot of that down. I know you've had a long, illustrious career. You're almost as old as I am, but we can still get that down a little bit. And then kind of carry that consistency throughout. Tell me what your company's, the company names underneath it. What have they done? Then your title. Then underneath that, what were you responsible for? And I think you've done a pretty good job of that. But then again, being more consistent, like some of your bullets, you're talking about quantitative, qualitative metrics. You're talking about, specific information, and some of them are just kind of fluff. So I would really recommend that consistency, quantitative, qualitative. And I was talking to a buddy of mine yesterday about his resume, and I told him, like, in my head, every time I read a bullet on any resume, every bullet I look at, my first question is, so what? Right? And consider asking yourself that when you read a bullet on your resume, right? So what? What's the impact of it? Why are you telling the reader that? If it's just responsibility stuff, that should be in the responsibility. If it's an accomplishment, like one here, you produce 15% savings on $500 million spend, spanning 640 agency sites. Wow, that's awesome. That's a huge impact. Improve supplier response rate by 22%, by renegotiating. That's great. That's the kind of stuff that people want to hear about. So, I think that's it. Again, want to reiterate, we're really excited about 2021. Really appreciate the referrals that have come in. If you could please keep the referrals coming in. If you have specific questions on the jobs that we discussed, go to our website, the active search page. If there's specific questions for the resumes we reviewed or a specific question you have on your resume, send it to me at info@ceresimorek.com. I'll get to you as soon as I can. And finally, please, if you get an email from us, fill out the survey and tell them how awesome we are. We would really love to get back-to-back awards from Forbes. We were really proud of it last year in 2020, and we're hoping to repeat it here in 2021, and we can do that with your support. So there's nothing else. I don't know if there's any questions out there or not, but again, a little bit different. We're going to do back-to-back, so we're this week, and then we're going to go back to the third Wednesday next week. So I know we missed the first Wednesday because I was sick, so we just wanted to kind of get back into the rhythm of things here. So we're doing today, we're going to do next Wednesday, and then we're going to go back to the first and third Wednesday of the month. So if you have any topics, let us know. We look forward to hearing from you. Hopefully you got something out of today's broadcast. Let us know if you did, and if you didn't, let us know that too. We always love the feedback. So best of luck. Look forward to talking to you next week, and stay safe out there, people. Talk to you soon.